welcome back to another video. I believe this is either day 5 or day 6 with my Mustang. So every time the other horses would go into their shed to eat, she would unfortunately keep pacing or pawing and even really created a little trench by this side of the fence. So I decided to put some tarp there. Reason 1, to stop her from pacing so much on that low spot she had made. I also dumped some sand there and she kept pawing it out, so I didn't want her to be able to kick it all out. And number 2, to get her desensitized to the tarp and help her learn that it's not going to hurt her. She wasn't too sure of it to start with, but you can see she was pretty curious and would come up to it. Then I had a session with her. I started out with a little bit of leading, and she was just a little bit stressed about the tarp, and the other horses had left sight, so she was just not in a good mindset at the moment. So she started pulling away and got it behind her neck, which then she started doing these little hops to try to get away from it, but she didn't keep them up too long and then just went trotting to the other side. You can tell she's just a little bit stressed and not sure about things at the moment to start with, but she actually turned around really good here. So I just let her stand there and think about things for a minute, and she started pawing again, so then I asked for a few steps. This was definitely the first time she was pretty stressed and distracted while I was working with her. She'd been doing pretty good, but with all the scary new things, she was just a little overwhelmed. So again, she starts just tugging a little bit and gets turned around with it over her neck again. But she actually turned back around really nice and gave to it, so I'm really happy that she didn't run off like the first time. She got a lot better after that and started leading next to me again, and you can still see she's a little bit nervous of things, but she followed me, so that's an improvement. And we just worked on leading for a bit. She's good at following me, but she's still more unsure about actually giving to pressure, so I tried to use it more to help her learn what it means. She also has a lot more trouble with things on the right side, so I decided to lead her from the off side as well, which is really good to help her get used to me being on both sides. She started getting a little better about walking closer to me, and I'm trying to start putting some things together and asking for a spin or backup before the really big release. So just some little exercises we're working on. I look for her outside leg to step in front of the other one, so I released when she did. I then tried lunging again for a little bit. I believe this is only our 2nd or 3rd day doing it, so she's doing pretty well with that, and I'm still not asking for long circles yet. Next, I worked on desensitizing her to fly spray. She was pretty concerned about it going on her, so I just got her used to the motion of it or it rubbing on her to start with. So I'm trying to make noises with my mouth to mimic the sound of it spraying, because that can be pretty scary. And that way I can also get her used to the sound before the feeling of it touching her. So I stopped asking her to trot very long because, as you can see, she has kind of a limp. And I think that's because, as I said earlier, she's pacing so much. I think she was making herself really sore. And unfortunately, there's nothing I could do about it before she was ready to go out with the others, but I didn't want to ask her to move too much while I was working with her. This is the next day. I had a really good session with her, mostly just working on basics. She was way more relaxed this day. You can also see overnight she got totally used to the tarp.
There's a green pasture I wanna be in, and I'm a wild, wild flower just ready for the picking. Ooh. 31 years is a long time coming, feet off the ground, but I'm still running. Ooh. I don't need a map, I don't singing, hummingbirds humming, searching for a song, so I keep on strumming.
So I actually brought the surcingle out for the first time. I didn't ever cinch it up because I didn't want to take a chance of her bucking and hurting herself worse, but I did let it just hang over her and she did really well. I asked her to move a little bit with it and she was perfect, wasn't bothered at all.
Baby, just remember when you start to miss me. I don't need a map, I don't need a road, I don't need a fence, I just need to roam. If you wanna love me, you don't need a rope, you just need to know. I don't need a compass, I don't need a saddle, let go of the reins, baby, let me unravel. If you wanna love me, you don't need a rope, you just need to know. Good horses come home. Good horses. Good horses come home. Good horses.
So I decided to try a new exercise that I hadn't done before with her. It's really good to help them learn how to give to pressure because the answer isn't just coming towards you. And she actually figured it out really quickly and didn't have too much trouble with it at all.
Yeah, boy, won't you give me some slack? They might run for the hills, but they always come back. Yeah, boy, won't you give me some slack? They might run for the hills, but they always come back. Good horses. They always come home.
And I ended the session with some flexing. Alright everyone, I am finally going to announce her name. I'm super excited to finally say what it is. I would like you all to meet SM Saturn's Little Pallini, also known as Palline. I thought it was really fitting because Pallini is one of Saturn's moons. She is exactly the color of Saturn, and I thought the name Palline suited her really well. I hope y'all like the name. Thank you for watching and stay tuned for more videos.